get in here. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Stegosaurus, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the DX9 War in Pocket Desert Warrior Thorner. Give me a break. This is their Snarl, their Legends class Snarl, and he's pretty cool. Pretty cool little fella. We'll talk about him a bit. So we have some yellow paint here that looks fantastic. They've really nailed the yellow paint when they've applied it. I will give them that. I think they've done a good job on these guys, kind of in general. The only issue has been tolerances, and we'll see how this guy sorts out in that department. The head, you get a little bit of downward movement, and that's it. You get the mouth open and close. You get this metallic blue eye paint that looks great. Translucent plastic here and here for accents. And then this is a pin. I thought it was paint for a second. Metallic blue paint there, the darker metal there. This is a ball peg, so you get the swivel, and you get a little bit of a butterfly, which is nice. And then you have the knee, and then the ankle tilt. No rocker. Same for the other side. Same here, knee, but you can just move the fist with it. And you get an ankle? Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, you get an ankle. I just had to free it up. And then a ball. Oh, no, you have a universal joint here for the hinge, so that gets all the way out, and the swivel, so that's nice. A little silver accent there. Some paint up in here. Looks good. No real complaints, you know. Okay, so we're going to transform this guy. I do want to mention that this is all known to me from Robert D, and I think he misassembled it on purpose to mess me up, but I ran through it real quick, and I think I fixed it. I think he switched the legs in order to purposefully mess me up. But we're not going to let that stand in our way. So split the upper body of the Stegosaurus. Bring the head. You can bring this whole piece down if it'll go, but much like previous DX9 releases, there are some tolerance issues here. So just do what you can in order to bring the Stego leg in, and then flip the head back and close up. And then same for this side. Flip this down, flip this in, flip the head, let's see, the whole piece, the whole shebang, back, and then close this, rotate the thighs 180, and then rotate the whole lower body 180, and that way you won't have the screws in the front. He swapped the legs because it still works, and it just has the screws in the back, and I actually sat there trying to figure it out forever. Let's see, lift this piece up here, and then this is another one of those sections. Bring the arms down. You can straighten the all this jazz out right here in order to kind of just get something else done. And then you have to move this part. It worked much better then. Down, and then you have to split the tail. Let's see here. Bring these pieces up and around. And like everything, it's just so frustratingly tight, you know. And I don't even know what the right configuration for these two pieces is, but we'll bring this down. We'll another piece. Bring the head up. It would be nice if this whole piece flipped forward, but it doesn't. And unbelievable. All right, fold these pieces down here, and then let me check and see how this comes up like this. And it feels like this just rotates in. And then you can have this any way you want. I'm trying to think what would be best to hide it, but that's about it. And then I'll clean them up and we'll take a look at them. So, now we can talk about the accessories a bit too. So he holds them just fine. Translucent red sword and a decently sculpted gun with no paint. So the head itself is on a swivel. We have silver paint and light piping. Yeah, it looks like light piping to me. Maybe not. I can't tell. Like, it looks like it should be light piping, but it's closed up in the back. Maybe it is paint. I honestly can't tell. And just a swivel, translucent plastic here. The silver accents come through here. The universals now work for shoulders, which get you all the way around and all the way up, with a bicep swivel on a mushroom peg that's super tight. Single pinned elbow, wrist hinge, etc. The silver paint does come through nicely in robot mode on the shoulders. It does look good. Waist swivel, T-jointed ball joints for hips, get you the full Van Damme and the full Monty. Thigh swivel, single hinge knee, get you 90 degrees, and nothing for the feet. But yeah, it works, it's effective, it's just kind of the same story that we've been, saying with all of these Dinobots so far from DX9. It's just like my hips are a little loose on this one. And then all the stuff that needs to transform that should move smoothly is a bit of a pain. And that's just fit and finish, as my buddy T2RX6 would say, So these knees are a little wonky. Once you get them posed and stuff, it'll be fine, but it's just a little frustrating. Size comparison wise, there he is with a Hasbro Legend and the Iron Factory Legend, so he's a good size. Final thoughts wise, it's the negatives. Once again, it's the tolerances. It's just some frustrating tolerances, and who knows, it might loosen up over time. I do have to say that with all of these DX9 releases, I'm just kind of looking at them once or twice, throwing them in the box and shipping them on their way. It could be one of those things where the more you mess with them, the more they kind of loosen up and sort of fall into their own. And I'm on board with that. That's cool, but I really wish they would get a grip on that, because they're making really cool little Legends figures, and the tolerances are super frustrating on some of the movement pieces. And when I say some parts, I mean all of them. All of them. Pretty much all of them. Mostly all of them. I have this TV that has a fine picture, but it's an older TV. And my wife wanted me to get rid of it. And Joe and I weighed it just recently. It's sitting right there. We use it as a table now for diorama stuff. And I think the weight of this TV is actually, I gotta look at, it's 8 million pounds, I believe. This TV moves easier than most of the pieces on this Snarl. But the articulation's stellar. There's a lot of paint on these guys for being little fellas. There's translucent plastics and finish and all sorts of stuff. There's the accessories make sense. It's all good. It's all good with the exception of the tolerances. And the other thing that I would have liked to have had with this guy would have been a wrist swivel, but I understand it's a Legends class figure, so sometimes it's asking for a bit much. But ultimately, I do recommend them. Just be careful. Super tight tolerances often mean potential for breaks, and it's a Legends class figure, and it's an expensive Legends class figure. So just, you don't want to break it, So be careful. They seem to be sturdy. The materials feel great, so I wouldn't worry too much. But, there's always room for concern when stuff is really difficult to move, especially when they're on small pens and such. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.